Hello everybody, this is Big Daddy Rocker Gamer, and I'm talking to you from the editing room because I really messed up on the audio here. My audio device was set to practically non-existent, so even though I did put in phantom power, it did not record much sound. Anyways,
One
this
day I'll
is
catch a break.
another episode of Let's Play Baldur's Gate 3. Of course, and this is the misadventures of Robin of Locksley. And I found some interesting goblins up here.
Something's on my mind.
Had to check it out. You know, I mean, what could possibly go wrong? It's goblins.
Look what we got here! Another little birdie wanting to fly! Stop this thing! Flap those wings some more, and I'll feed you a worm. And you! Hope you got a stomach for heights!
I'm not looking for trouble. Just want to pass by.
Funny. That's what our birdie wanted. Release me this instant, you beasts! Unless you want to join him up there, you best pay the toll. Cough it up!
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
I'm not an orator, eh? I could teach you how to talk gold out of anyone's purse for free passage.
I don't want lessons, I want gold. But I'll settle for cutting out that silver tongue of yours.
Wait, just let me go, please.
Now you've gone and spoiled the fun. I like it better when they got some fight in them. Clear off and don't come back. Tell your mummy how the nasty goblins made you wet your britches.
Yeah, okay. So nothing really happens here. But you know, then I wanted to look in on the logs, and this happens.
Back again? I gave my last bloody warning already. You got a death wish, I reckon.
And suddenly I find myself in a battle I did not intend to be a part of. So, what do? We improvise. I love the spell thief bow, by the way. Just flat out returns spell slots once you take someone down. That's an awesome weapon. And then I make the first big mistake. I'll make a couple of more mistakes very soon, you'll see. Because I'm not paying attention to what is going on around me here. Using bardic inspiration on Will? No, was that? Yeah, I end up using it all like that. And then this happens. And Shadowheart goes down, Robin goes down, one shot. And I'm like, oh crud. I'm thinking, what do I do? What do I do? Oh god. Oh good god. Yeah, that's sort of what it is. Just have to somehow fight it out. And yeah, fight goes on. I'm getting a little bit panicky here. Because I realize there's way too many goblins and nowhere near enough for me. And there's no additional support, there's no other defenders here, it's just Mozell and Will, and none of them can heal the other two. It's like a Nightmare D&D scenario. Both healer goes down in one fell swoop, and then you start just dying really slowly. I do have to admit that the game is sort of growing on me. I didn't feel too impressed by Legion 3 in the start, but I've been playing it a little bit more, and it's gradually growing on me. There are things I like about it, I have to admit. Some of the, well, more wild special effects I can do without, but it's growing on me. And this here was the end of this. So, let's reload and see where that takes us.
Another step forward.
And we want to try see if we can convince these goblins to, you know, not be less goblins. I still want to help this gnome.
Look what we... Stop this thing!
What the hell are you doing?
And you! Hope you got a stomach for heights! What's it bloody look like? We're teaching this here pipsqueak to fly!
Now, why are you doing it?
'Cause it makes me laugh!
Oh, fun's over. Release the gnome at once.
Fun's over. Release the gnome at once.
You want this little cave lurking what's it? Find your own. He's ours!
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
All of you against one deep gnome. You should go find a better target.
All of you locked against one deacon. You should go find a better target.
And here I decided I need every bonus I can. So I also added in guidance just for a little bit of extra oomph.
10 or higher.
I reckon we could do better than this run, eh? We're leaving.
What about the gnome? Ain't we supposed to bring him to...
I said we're leaving! There's plenty of sport and rich pickings out there for us!
I'm sure I'll
Move
meet
it!
that goblin again at some point. Anyways, so situation peacefully resolved. The poor dude is still
Open up.
flying up here, and I'm trying to figure out how to get him down. So we wait until he comes around again and see if we can talk to him. And I figure out that that's not happening. By trying to click on him, Robin starts to walk all over the place, and that's sort of crazy. So I figured, yeah, that's not exactly what I had in mind. We'll go back up. A little bit of a detour, but you know, sometimes the game is like that. you click on something and it turns out you clicked on something entirely elsewhere. It just happens. So I start to figure out, okay, well maybe, you know, I should go take a look inside the actual windmill. See if I can find anything of use here. And yeah, I figure out that maybe here's something to push. I'm looking around to find any levers or anything. I'm pushing and opening and clicking on everything here. That's one thing I really miss. If I could find a button to highlight everything clickable, I would use it. In Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, that button was tab. But every time I press tab here, I bring up the menu. So I haven't figured out what button to click because it's sometimes really difficult to find what I'm looking for when I'm looking for one specific lever or something. And here I find what I'm looking for. So if any of you guys know what button is the highlight button that allows me to see clickable items a little bit easier, please let me know in the comments so I can be less of a dunce.
Cut me loose!
Yeah, let's just free him.
Ugh, Magacabara. Those pustulant thugs! Well, get on with it.
Get on with what?
Get on with what?
You saved me, now you'll extort me. That's how this works, yes?
I'd rather know how you got caught.
I'd rather know how you got caught.
My own fault, really. I should have dropped my pack and outrun those bastards. Alas. Take my pack, if you can find it. The only reason those goblins caught me was its weight. I'll travel lightly from now on.
Sounds wise. You're a little far from home for a deep gnome.
Ignorance is alive and well, it seems. Deep gnomes aren't restricted to the Underdark, you know. I've lived in Baldur's Gate for years. I'm in search of a friend. I fear he's in trouble. See this? I gave it to him years ago before I left home. I found it around the neck of a thug in the lower city. It was speckled with blood. My friend, nowhere to be found. But I still have hope. I have reason to believe he's in the Underdark. Hopefully, I'll pick up his trail from there. I always help my friends. On that note, I bid thee farewell. If we should meet again, well, we will have met again.
He seems like a decent sort of fellow for a deep gnome. Yeah. Falkero Will, he was happy with this. Felt inspired and everything. So yeah, let's enjoy that. Okay, let's go look for his backpack. He said there was a backpack here somewhere. Again, I really wish there was a highlight button here so I could see things. There probably is, I just don't know what it is. I'm too lazy to check the controls. So, there's that. Now, there's more things to be done here. A lot more. I figured out that I would go back in here and start looking around for the sack. And also I didn't go inside.
Something good here, I hope.
And so I found vagabond clothes or stuff like this. Grab up whatever I find. You know, you gotta make do. Still trying to make sense of this map. Climbing up there. Well, I'm not sure what I found there, but it's gotta be worth something, so let's just bring it in. Anything that can be carried and pawned off will be carried and pawned off.
I'm just grabbing everything.
Because that's just the kind of adventurous we are when we play these sort of games, isn't it? Yeah, we bring everything. Which is kind of weird, because we wouldn't do that in real life. But you know, in games like this, we sort of become kleptomaniacs, and I find it very funny. I eventually go down here, because I want to see what's downstairs. Of course, having climbed down into wells and other things here, I do know that it's not necessarily very safe to do so. So, F5, my best friend. In case you're wondering, F5, the lesson was learned. The lesson was learned. Luckily, there's nothing dangerous down here. It's just
work to do.
looking around here and picking up stuff. Not much to pick up, really. But, yeah. Just find some rotting food, a backpack with some less than rotted food. I like this item. I think I eventually end up selling it for quite a lot of gold. Well, not quite a lot, but, you know, enough gold that it funds something else. Speedy light feet. Yeah, I remember these items. I was wondering what to do with it. I'll show you quickly what to do with it. But I might not show you until next episode if I'm correctly, if I'm not incorrect, because I think I don't do a long rest until next time. Yeah, I think I give these to Lizelle because she's the only one who really charges or does anything like that. I figured, why not? And yeah, I just ponder a little bit about what to do and where to put the gear and who to give what gear. It's, you know, it's not super exciting to watch these menus, but it is what it is. Gear management is, after all, a very important part of the game. I think I wanted to put this chainmail on someone, but I couldn't figure out who to put it on, and I was not sure if it would actually improve the AC of the character. I think I end up trying to put it on Lizelle, only to find out that it doesn't really improve her. So I end up going back to the Githyanki half plate because it looks better. When there's no improvement, then looks is the deciding factor. Let's just face it. And the Githyanki half plate looks way better than the chainmail. And yeah, going back up to see where that takes us. I probably should have cut that part out, the loading part, but oh well, it is what it is.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times. Best be on my way.
Yeah, I think I run into a rather fairy guy very soon.
Yeah, I at least found the...
I'm not entirely... Yeah, I think it's this video. Where I run down and suddenly I meet this dude. Who's very willing to help me. You guys probably know who it is if you played the game before. But I'm not... Oh yeah, I noticed there's this hostile bugbear up here. And I'm thinking, why is there a hostile bugbear? What did I ever do to that guy? And not only that, but it's a sleeping bugbear. And since I'm sort of cutting down on these tunas, I just decide to whack him and twack him. Because why not?
Got to focus.
Nah, I don't use tenacity, although I probably should. I'm not sure if tenacity uses any sort of resource.
On the victor's path.
But the combat's over really quickly. I'm starting to favor Eldritch Blast a lot because it's just powerful. I get why so many builds keep on propping up Eldritch Blast as the best thing since forever. It really is powerful, and I can imagine a lot of
My eyes grow heavy. Best to make camp.
a lot of builds with sorcerer paladins and warlocks
Just
will
another
utilize the
crit.
Eldritch Blast. Rather useful. I try to pick up all the stuff here because I'm a greedy son of a
Looks
gun.
empty.
And yeah, that's just how it is. I killed the bugbear.
What path
His
lies
spoils are
before
mine.
me?
Eventually though, it's time to move on because, yeah, it's one dead bugbear. Who cares? Now, I could probably go in and try to search out this house, but I get suspicious when the game auto-saves for me. Or I quick save or whatever it was. Look around. And then I start noticing the opposite side here. That looks interesting. There's a massive blood trail there. I want to go up there. Of course I want to go there. I mean, that looks much more interesting than whatever I'm doing over on the other side. Don't you agree? So here we are. And now the game is saving on its own. That's not me saving. Now I get suspicious. Also save successful. I like, where's the trap? Where are they?
Let's go.
And since I don't trust autosaves, I'm saving myself too. And here we go. You guys probably know this guy.
My, what manner of place is this? A path to redemption? Or a road to damnation? Hard to say, for your journey is just beginning.
What would suit the occasion?
The words to a lullaby, perhaps. The mouse smiled brightly. It outfoxed the cat. then down came the claw. And that, love, was that.
Bad poetry if I ever heard.
They do know how to write them in Cormier, don't they? Well met, I am Raphael. Very much at your service.
I highly doubt it. But it's a pleasure. I'm Robin of Locksley.
Pleasure, I'm Robin of Locksley.
Charmed, I'm sure, in more ways than one. We should have a chat, you and I, but not here. This quaint little scene is decidedly too middle of nowhere for my tastes.
I'm sure.
Come. There, middle of somewhere.
Can you be more, well, nice decor?
That's nice decor.
The House of Hope, where the tired come to rest and the famished come to feed lavishly. Go on, partake, enjoy your supper. After all, it might just be your last.
No. Are these theatrics leading somewhere?
Theatrics leading somewhere.
Are you not entertained? Well, far be it from me to disappoint.
Yeah, I knew it. Bastard.
What's better than a devil you don't know? A devil you do. Am I a friend? Potentially. An adversary? Conceivably. But a savior? That's for certain.
What makes you think I need saving?
Come now, why play hard to get when you're in deep over your tadpoled head? One skull, two tenants, and no solution in sight. I could fix it all, like that.
I need to think this over.
Take all the time you need, but make up your mind before you're counting down with tentacles. Try to cure yourself. Shop around. Beg, borrow, and steal. Exhaust every possibility until none are left. And when hope has been whittled down to the very marrow of despair, that's when you'll come knocking on my door. Hope. Such a tease.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll have the last laugh in the end.
Oh, don't worry, I'll have the last half of the end.
I've always wondered what a laughing mind flayer sounds like. All those pretty little symptoms, sundering skin, dissolving guts, they haven't manifested yet, have they? One might say you're a paragon of luck. I'll be there when it runs out.
I'm sure you will. So, yeah. Had a little bit of a weird run-in with somebody who wants to make a deal with me. Don't make deal with devils,
That's
kids.
curious.
Don't. Just don't. It never works out. Not the way you want it to. Not the way you need it to. So, here I am trying to figure out where to go and what to do. I find myself yet again being separated from something I want to do by geographical instabilities, hinders, invisible walls, you know.
Okay.
And now I'm really wondering, what do I need to do? Where do I go from here? There's so many things I feel like I missed out on here. Still haven't found Karlach. Still looking for Halsan. No idea where I am. No idea what to do. But let's just trek on. I decide to teleport back to the blighted village, the goblin village here, because I don't really know where to go and what to do here. I'm just sort of operating blindly in this playthrough. And I decide to go down this path here and see where that takes me, because right now I'm just feeling that it doesn't matter where I try to go, I just never end up anywhere where I want to be. As I'm sure that the only reason I haven't found Karlach yet is because I haven't found the correct path to walk. And now I'm trying to figure out what these salts are. And it's like, no clue. No clue. And I find a bridge down here, and I think, yeah, okay, maybe if I cross this, maybe I can get to the cool place with all blood splatter. And I do decide against going across this bridge because I want to see what else is up here first. Uncover this part of the map here so I don't accidentally miss out on even more stuff, because I feel like I already missed out on quite a lot of stuff here. So just walking around here and trying to figure out what's going on. See if I can unlock more of the map and just feel a little bit better about walking around aimlessly here. As I said, this is for the large part a blind playthrough. I do know a little bit about some of the characters here. I know, for example, Minsk and Jaheira will eventually show up, and they're mainly the reason why I'm playing this game. Minsk is awesome, Jaheira is awesome. I want to see what Larian did to them. But I also know some of the main party characters. I know Minsk and Jaheira shows up very late. So this game is mostly for the new characters, not the old ones, and that's okay.
Less you like
But I
trash.
still love me some crazy ranger druid thing. Now, eventually I figure out that there's nothing I really want to do down here. I just want to cross the bridge and see what else I can do here. And so I realize I don't have a shovel for this, and I figure, oh, okay, screw that. I'm not gonna go around here on the map finding a lot of stuff that I can't do anything with. Let's just get away from here. And I was pondering if I should go down to Auntie Ethel and see if she had anything for me, or if I should just push into this other territory. I really want to figure out where to go from here, and to, you know, hunt down Karlach and stuff like that. But then I started looking back on it, and nope, it's a very long walk. Even if I teleport to the nearest teleport. Let's just not do that. And so I end up after debating with myself that just, okay, screw that. I am going to cross the bridge. Burning bridges, as they say. Or crossing bridges, at least. And yeah, that's where I find myself at this point. Now I just need to wait for my party to gather up before venturing forth. Yeah, I've been waiting to use that. You must gather your party before venturing forth. Everybody who ever played Baldur's Gate knows that. And if you don't, shame on you. And now I figure out that I don't have Longstrider on. So, I'm starting to cast it on everybody since it's a ritual spell and I can cast it on everyone as long as I do it out of combat to not use up my spell slot. I should have done this a long time ago. But I only just now figured it out because I'm a slow learner. And saving the game, of course. And here we go, Goblin Camp. What's coming up now, you wonder? If you ask me, I ask you, I have no idea. I thought I already had the Goblin Camp, but that was apparently just the Goblin ruin takeover city after they forced out everything else, so yeah. And I go over here first because I want to see, and then I start to...
A war drum. One of those can summon fighters far and wide.
I start to realize this is not a very healthy place for me to be.
There are traps about.
And I'm thinking, oh, I don't have thieves' tools. Crud. And then this happens, and I'm like, no, just sneak out, try not to blow yourself up, guys. And that's exactly what they do, they blow themselves up. Again, on the same trap, even though they knew the trap's there. And that's when I realized the AI can sometimes be extremely incompetent. So, Shadowheart has to heal himself. Because why not?
Step.
And now I'm wondering, what do I do? What do I do?
Look it, Claw. Sapper's here. Unless you got another reason to be here. Feck shite.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
Beautiful animal. Does she belong to the Nordiland Vergata family? I think that's what it says.
She belonged to the Nordiland family.
And I messed up completely. It's so embarrassing. Yeah, I'm re-rolling that one because, jeez, should not fail something like that. It just shouldn't happen.
How'd you know? Dumb as a rock, but world class at tearing the throats out of wee ones, she is. Rest of her litter's inside in the pens. Beautiful beasts.
I've never seen a pack up close. Always wanted to.
I've never seen a pack up close, or wanted to.
Be a shame if you came all this way without having a look. But I can't let you pass just like that. Celebrating a raid we are. You'll need to wear our war colours. Nice to have this across the mug. Ought to do it.
Scoop it up and fling it at Oleg's face. I did consider asking if he had any designs in mind. But I figure this either gets him to laugh, or it gets me into a fight. You can't really know with goblins.
Athletics. Let's see if we can do this.
Let's add guidance too for good measure.
Okay, here we go.
And this happens.
That's critical success.
My eyes! You shitey fixate!
I gotta love the creative insults for the goblins.
Time for some bloody work.
And then a little bit back again. I didn't account for the wog to attack me. Seems it has levels in fighter. Lazelle's turn. I figured, okay, she can't walk
Make
all the
way.
way up, but what she can do is action surge. And apparently that didn't help me, so instead of feeling like we completely lost, I just shoot again. Shoot with the arrow. I should have shot again because I think I just wasted an action surge here. And Lae'zel is taking a lot of damage because poor Lae'zel.
Cover me! I'm going for the alarm!
And this guy's going for the drums, and I'm thinking, crap. And I'm looking at the cantrips. Sacred Flame 1 to 8 versus the other one is 1 to 10. And then something hits me.
Time to deal some punishment.
Do I go after that?
Onward.
When I
Blade will
could
not bend. Finding my
instead
way.
do this. And then I do that. I just blast the war drum. No more reinforcements coming. I mean, Larian keeps saying that we should be very mindful of our surroundings, and so I try to incorporate that by being, you know, mindful of my surroundings. Arrow of Monstrosity Slaying. I'm not sure if it will work, but I decided to give it a try. And it does in fact work, and I kinda dig it. Bardic Inspiration on Will, because Will is at full health. Lae'zel is not. I'm expecting Lae'zel to go down. And then this comes up. Missile Snaring. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. There's a good flat damage reduction. Lae'zel uses Second Wind. And I decide to take down small claw if I can, because if I manage to take it down, I can reduce the amount of incoming attacks. But that doesn't help Lae'zel, she goes down. And there's a lot of archery going on here, but I still have that enemy front lane to deal with.
Your time has come.
Unfortunately, my little priesty priest fails, but she succeeds on shoving, and I find that hilariously funny. I still think it's funny as hell that you can use part of your action to just shove people away. Arms of Hadar. I'm thinking that's pretty nice damage. Maybe I should do something like this, or put up the armor. So I do that. And then I'm like, what else can I do? And I think I end up just doing Misty Steps too? Yeah. I want to get up to this guy and see if I can take him down before he makes things worse for me. Now, I want to help Shadowheart because she's in a little bit of a bind, but there's also a bunch of archers here that I don't like the looks of, and I'm trying to find out which target would be best for me to just pump arrows. I end up trying to take down the warg with little success. I gave Shadowheart Bardic Inspiration because I think it's gonna need it more than Will does, because Will is pretty good. Missile Snaring again saves my ass here. Reduces damage incoming to 0. And everybody's just taking damage all over. Now I'm wondering, what can I do here? What can I do to improve my odds? I eventually end up just thinking that I just need to bring the enemy down. I consider Heartstopper. I decide to eventually try it. It hits. Unfortunately, the enemy saves, so there's nothing more. And then I try athletics check to push him away again, but it's not successful. Now, Will, I decide to just hit with a rapier on the warg, and it actually hits. I didn't expect it to. It's basically a 50-50, and hey, cool, it worked. My second action misses, so there's that. Now Robin again is considering what to do.
Let's get this over with.
And I managed to take down the warg. Then I replenish a heal spell slot and I decide to heal Shadowheart with it. Friend, my turn. Luckily, tenacity, missile snaring comes up again. Reduces my damage to 0 again. Will has taken a lot of damage. Here comes a summoned unit. And Shadowheart is just hitting the enemy. There's really nothing else I can do at this point. Just try to burst the enemy down. And then I decide to move Will back and start Eldritch Blasting again, because Eldritch Blast is more accurate and it deals an amazing amount of damage. It's possibly one of the best cantrips in the game. I want to take down this the goblin up there who summoned this warg, but yeah, I end up trying to burst down the warg with no success. Missile snaring again, because it really is one of the most overpowered abilities I've gotten out of an item so far. And finally, the enemy front line is crumbling. Preparing to deal with that summoned unit. But Will just comes through. And there goes the
fleet of foot.
The summoned unit as well. Now I set up so I can start dealing with the enemy. switch over to arrows and start taking down the ranged enemies. You know, like you should. Missile snaring again. It's really, really good. Sacred Bolt and have her just kill this goblin.
On my way.
Tides have turned. Now it's just a mob up left. And here we go.
Found my mark.
Battle over. And we can get Lae'zel back up. Stable at 1 hit point. Not exactly doing very good, but better than dead. And of course, favorite part of all combat, looting afterwards. You know, that's the best part. We all know. And I'm considering going to camp here, but I do have a song of rest, so I use that.
Time to get going.
Everybody feels a little bit less worn out.
Moving in. Let's have a look.
I really want to loot everything because I'm a loot goblin. Let's face it, everybody who ever plays these kind of RPGs, we all are. And I blame Diablo. Possibly Diablo 2. You know, you pick up everything because you have to. And then eventually you get so much money you stop picking up anything because it just clutters your inventory. But I blame Diablo for the compulsive action of picking up everything. Diablo taught us that if you can carry it, you should, because it will be worth something. Even things that look like they should be worthless. Picking up everything I can find and wondering what I should do with these things. Because as you can see, I'm starting to have quite a lot of stuff in my inventory, but it is what it is. Passing around the healing potions.
Oh, action, not reaction.
Because...
Still alive?
Yeah.
So that's progress.
Well, like healing potions. They're good. They're good for you. They're healthy. And of course saving the game, because we don't want to mess up. Now I'm wondering, okay, so I just killed a bunch of goblins. Where do I go from here?
If not over,
apparently inside the
through.
goblin fortress is the only answer. And walking down here thinking, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do this.
Hear my voice. Obey my command.
The voice is irresistible. You recognize the overwhelming authority that you've used on others, only infinitely stronger, and turned against you. Your vision clouds, leaving you in a dark, featureless shadowscape. Nothingness in every direction. Then there are 3 figures before you. An armored male elf, exuding power and command. a handsome younger man with a quick, easy smile, and a pale young woman with even paler eyes.
These are my chosen. They speak for me. Aid their search for the prism, and you will be worthy to stand beside them in my presence.
So yeah, Shadowheart does stuff. Because why
You
wouldn't
feel energy pulsing from the artifact, lifting the pain from you, pushing the voice away.
My power grows. My forces gather. The reckoning draws near.
Now I'm curious what would happen if I didn't have Shadowheart here.
Don't give me that look. I don't know what just happened any more than you do. We should keep going.
The voice is gone. Muted by this Gith relic. Why does a half-elf carry it?
I don't remember what I chose here. Yeah, the vision, that voice. What was it?
I think that was the Absolute speaking to us. But we managed to shield ourselves. We should keep moving.
Hold on. That artifact seemed to stop the voice. What is it? But I decided to just
Agreed.
let's press on. Shadowheart likes her secrets and she's annoying. She's not upfront about anything and she will not share unless you force her to, but right now is not the time to force it. And here
Sounds
we
like they've
come
captured themselves a bard.
to where I believe Halcyon is being kept. Goblin camp. Yeah. And they have a trader. So
Troops will disarm you and grow you the truth. Laugh if you dare, recoil if you
looking around here, seeing what's going on,
with goblins and
figuring
trust.
out that, oh right, there's a lot of stuff here.
Mountains, great mortals, all ginders to
I
quake.
eventually do go on a shopping spree here.
The true souls are
I
coming,
think
their
that's
louders awake.
the next thing I do. I sell away a lot of stuff and I buy what I can. I realize I'm still a bit away from level 4, so that's unfortunate.
You look like you got something jingling in your pocket. Looking to spend it?
Let's see what you have. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I end up buying the Great Sword. I think, and yeah, I like the returning pike here for throne bells, and I like the boots of Aiden Comfort. The swirly shoes, Swarzy shoes. I consider them. Gloves of archery, I think I get those too because they're pretty awesome when all comes to it. Now, of course, I'm not trading out the current gloves I have because those gloves are just too good. But I believe I can give the gloves of archery to Shadowheart and equip her with a bow so she has a ranged weapon in case she wants to. She does have cantrips though, and those are pretty good too, so I'm not really sure why I was giving her this combination, but I wanted to just have something for her in case. Anyways, I start bartering because there's a lot of things to negotiate with here. I probably should have just cut this part, but for some reason I never do. And I do make a couple of jokes about the Doom Hammer that's that I found in this guy's inventory, because that's not at all a World of Warcraft reference at all. That's entirely impossible. And then I just find out they have a bunch of dice. Yeah, looking here at the Doom Hammer, smiling to myself and thinking, yeah, I know. Nice reference. Thank you, Larian. I think this is all the things I end up buying.
Get moving. I've got other customers.
So I start spreading out the new gear. Sarasi shoes goes into Will, I think? Yeah. And then I start looking where did I put the rest here? Because I noticed that this doesn't get organized at all, like whatsoever. But I find the gloves of archery and I give them to Shadowheart, as I mentioned. And then I noticed that, oh, I sold my bows. That sucks. I sold my bows. I give Shadowheart the boots of aid and comfort because she's the main healer, and additional 3 temporary hit points when she heals someone. That's good. Lizelle gets the new sword, and yeah, I'm just clearing out here now. I think I go back into the Goblins menu to get a bow for Shadowheart now that she can use them.
I got stuff if you got coin.
Let's see what you have. I noticed the only bows available are goblin bows, so yeah, I gotta take a goblin bow then.
Get moving. I've got other customers.
And now Shadowheart has some bows too.
The true souls are coming, the Louders awake.
And at this point I figure out that I've done pretty much all I want to do for this episode. And yeah, I'm going to say the same thing as I did. This is Big Daddy Rocker Gamer. It's been a pleasure to entertain you, and I'll see you guys next time.
Goblin kind will tease you and throw